Patrik Svensson, The Book of Eels, our enduring fascination with the most mysterious creature in the natural world. Dive into the mysterious world of eels with The Book of Eels by Patrik Svensson, as it chronicles the fascinating life cycle of these enigmatic creatures. Discover the 4 stages of development eels undergo as they migrate across the Atlantic and the various transformations they experience throughout their lives. The book also delves into the relationship between humans and eels throughout history, from being considered as demons by ancient Egyptians to the scientific interests of Aristotle. This captivating narrative explores the role eels play in various ecosystems, as well as the threats posed to their survival by human activity and climate change.
The fascinating life cycle of eels. Eels are more than just slimy, black fish. They have a complex life cycle that includes 4 stages of metamorphosis. From their birth as leptocephalous larvae in the Sargasso Sea, eels make a journey across the Atlantic, undergoing multiple transformations. They become glass eels, yellow eels, and finally, sexually mature silver eels. The journey back to the Sargasso Sea is their final voyage, where they fertilize their eggs and die. Despite their unusual appearance and behavior, eels remain a remarkable and fascinating species. Aristotle and the Enigma of Eel. The scientific interest in eels dates back to Aristotle, who described the fish's anatomy in detail, but also made fanciful claims, such as their ability to live on land. He also proposed that eels emerged from mud, a theory that puzzled scientists for centuries. Aristotle's work on the eel created an enigma that scholars call the eel question, which remains a mystery even after 2,000 years. The elusive sexuality of eels. After centuries of research, scientists finally discovered the reproduction secrets of eels. The Italian physician Francesco Redi was the first one to conduct an experiment that challenged the belief that flies could spontaneously spawn without fertilized eggs. It took another century to find out that eels can lay eggs. Later, a professor discovered the reproductive organ and eggs of a female eel, but the male anatomy remained a mystery until 1874 when Italian researchers speculated that they had found a lobe that could be the missing testicle. They sent a young student named Sigmund Freud to investigate, who failed to identify the lobe, but unbeknownst to him, eels only develop sex organs when they need them. The discovery of a sexually mature male silver eel 20 years later ultimately solved the mystery. Freud's investigation marked the beginning of his intense interest in the concealment of sexuality. The eel's mysterious birthplace. Danish biologist Johannes Schmidt spent almost 20 years tracing eel migration, finally discovering their spawning grounds in the Sargasso Sea, which remains an enigmatic mystery. Eels are fascinating creatures that have been puzzling scientists for centuries. By the 20th century, one of the most significant questions related to them was where do they breed? Danish biologist Johannes Schmidt aimed to answer this question and embarked on a journey that spanned almost 2 decades. Before Schmidt, scientists believed that eels migrated from Europe to the Mediterranean to breed, but this theory didn't account for the size of the larvae found in the Mediterranean. Schmidt believed that tracing eel larvae back to their birthplace was the key to solving the enigma. He planned to measure the sizes of these larvae at different locations, the smaller larvae indicating a closer proximity to their spawning ground. Schmidt sailed up and down the coasts of Europe for 7 years, but his efforts led to no substantial breakthroughs. It was not until he sailed west towards the Americas that his luck changed. The further he got from Europe, the smaller the larvae he found became. After 9 more years of perseverance, Schmidt finally discovered what he had been searching for in the Atlantic Sargasso Sea. The larvae he found there were so minuscule that they must have been newly hatched, and Schmidt had discovered the eel's birthplace. Thanks to Johannes Schmidt's hard work and determination, we now know that eels undertake a grueling migration of over 5,000 miles to breed in the Sargasso Sea. However, the answer to why eels undertake such arduous journeys still eludes scientists. In conclusion, Schmidt's efforts were not only a significant contribution to science, but they also revealed the mesmerizing mystery surrounding the eel's birthplace, which still intrigues people to this day. The navigational wonders of eels. Eels are remarkable navigators that use their acute sense of smell and ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field to find their way. Their journey to the Sargasso Sea is not solely instinctive, but rather a combination of instinct and sensory abilities. The study conducted on eel migration revealed that eels have an internal map that kicks in when they approach the Sargasso Sea. Until then, they rely on their senses to find their way. The peculiar life of eels. Eels live weird lives characterized by delayed sexual maturity and triggered metamorphoses. They don't die of old age but rather soon after spawning. Eels out of the wild don't develop, and their growth is stunted. Their metamorphoses are influenced by environmental clues like weight gain. However, eels' trigger mechanism to return to Sargasso Sea is not precise to date. The eel's lament. The eel, once a common delicacy across Europe, is rapidly declining due to human activity. Overfishing, disease, and climate change have led to a catastrophic decline in the eel populations. The number of glass eels arriving in Europe today is merely 5% of what it was in the 1970s. While the EU has enacted radical measures to save the eel, including the construction of fish bridges, their future is still uncertain. The oceanic currents that carried eel larvae east across the Atlantic are changing course due to global warming, which could lead to the failure of newly hatched eels to reach Europe. It is high time that humans take responsibility for the damage they have done, and make changes to rectify it.
Patrik Svensson's The Book of Eels provides readers with a comprehensive look at the enigmatic life of eels and their long-standing connection with humans. Despite numerous scientific advancements, eels continue to be a mystery, particularly when it comes to their reproduction and navigation abilities. However, it is evident that humans have greatly impacted their existence through overfishing, habitat destruction, and the spread of disease. With climate change posing an additional threat, understanding and conserving the eel population becomes even more crucial for securing their future. In conclusion, this book offers an engaging and informative glimpse into the obscure world of eels, highlighting their resiliency and the need for consistent efforts to gain a better understanding of these complex creatures.